Hi, everybody. This is Todd, Waterman.
And this is Phil Vischer.
And this is Phil Vischer. I thought you were going to go first. It sounded like you just went second.
Yeah, because you went first.
But
You clearly went first, so I clearly went second. What are we watching?
we're watching VeggieTales.
What's the name of the episode?
You wrote it. You got to tell me.
Christmas.
That's not the title.
Look, I don't know what the title is. What's the title?
I know this is episode 102. This was originally supposed to be the second. This was supposed to be the second episode we were going to do after the pilot.
Todd.
Yeah.
Todd Waterman is I'm going to call you the showrunner. Is that okay?
Showrunner sounds good. I'm going to call you Phil Vischer, the creator of VeggieTales.
Whatever.
And
Bob the
executive producer and writer of this
sure.
episode.
Sure. Yeah, I wrote this episode. Thus, I will not dispute that.
Yes.
Everything else is up in the air. I'm just looking at the characters, and they look so much like themselves.
I'm happy you said that, because the first test I showed you, you were very critical of Bob's mouth. And did I pass?
I think very is too extreme. I don't think that's the right adjective.
Professionally.
I think I was moderately concerned.
Constructively.
The new studio had nailed the mouths, but
Yeah.
they don't look like. So this is the first thing that's been produced since before. Can we talk about the Netflix show? There was VeggieTales on Netflix for 3 years worth, and the characters were very different, and they had irises, and some people thought they looked like they were insane. So this is the first show since then, and the characters have been put back the way God intended.
I like that.
Can we say that?
Absolutely.
This is when God pictured VeggieTales in his head, this is what he pictured.
Amen. And that was the goal, was to bring back the original look, the original characters.
Bring back, and the personalities.
That shot right there is my favorite scene in the whole film. When Bob sipped the coffee.
Yeah, that is a nice. It's a nice dry sip of coffee. That is a nice. What kind of coffee does Bob drink? Is it fancy coffee, or is he a very plain coffee guy?
You're gonna have to ask Bob, since you're the voice.
I think he's probably a pretty straight. He's a pretty straight coffee guy. He doesn't go double 2-pump frappuccino. That's more Jimmy and Jerry. They're loading their coffee with sugar and other things. So I'm noticing Mr. Lunt. First of all, he doesn't have his hat on, and I never like that.
But he did have the hat on. He had to take it off because he's going to jump, and he doesn't want the hat to go flying.
Really? Is that the reason he took his hat off?
Yeah,
because he's afraid of losing his hat inside in a closed environment.
That's a Panama straw, very expensive hat.
Yeah, and he's had it since 1995, I believe. So
yeah,
that's going way back.
I hope it's real Christmassy.
Oh dear.
Hey, I want to talk about this theater really quick, though. Or what do you think?
The theater's super nice.
That was I wanted to pick something that was anything but the Muppet Theater influence.
Oh,
so
really?
I found a 17th century Baroque theater for the inspiration of.
Wait, this is based on a real, actual theater?
It is in
did you
Czechoslovakia.
No way! And you took the whole design team over to Czechoslovakia so they could get the feel and the flavor and the aroma of the theater?
Absolutely. Google took us there. It was brilliant.
It'd be nice if Google provided smells, like on Street View. If there was also a smell view for everything.
I'm not going to touch that one.
Isn't that a good idea?
Yeah.
So they're singing the theme song. I've heard this before. Boy, have I heard this song.
And like I said earlier, that this was going to be the second episode. And we have a new song for the actual premiere.
Song
yeah,
for the show. Because what's the name of the series, Todd?
The VeggieTales Show.
Yeah, right. So it's not like the exact same show. It's a new version of VeggieTales.
That's right.
But it's better than all of the other new versions of VeggieTales because they actually ask the guys who make VeggieTales to be involved, and that's innovative.
You're having too much fun.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. I think Junior looks good in a top hat. I've never seen him in a top hat.
Yeah. See, now Lunt has another hat on here, so that,
Mr. Lunt kind of looks like Mr. Peanut.
Yeah, he does a little bit.
In that tiny little top. I think he needs a bigger hat. And do you know, he lost this long ago. Archibald Asparagus originally had he not only had the bow tie, he had a red stripe around his whole body, which was the bow tie strap. And somewhere through history, he lost that strap, and now he hasn't had it in years. So he just has to, literally, he has to glue his bow tie onto the front of his body for every show because no one can find his red strap.
Had I known, we could have put that strap back on.
You don't even know what to say about that, do you?
I'm going to move right on.
We could add it to a future episode.
I had like 3 other thoughts too, but I think it's been lost now. I'm just going to have to go back to the picture here.
Did the microphone just sink into the stage?
It did. Yes.
Just like at the Oscars.
That's right. I just put that in.
One of the inspirations for this setup is the Muppet Show, which was one of my absolute favorite show when I was a kid, and I always thought it would be fun to put the Veggies in a theater and do more of a variety show. So this is really fun to see.
Well, and that was amazing as far as what?
Czech Republic. That's where our theater is from.
There you go. That just kind of slipped in there. That's a little trivia now for our fans down the road. But you and I, when we met and we were going to talk about the show back in, how long ago was it, in Chicago?
It was
and
2004.
And we were both on the same page, unknowingly, of wanting to do this new series in a theater. So
yeah, variety show, theater. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. So,
I thought that was
you
pretty
didn't
incredible.
make me do it, and I didn't make you do it this way. We both wanted to do it this way.
What do they call that?
The perfect marriage.
Mike was supposed to maybe be in on this. Maybe we shouldn't let him hear that.
Yeah, no, he'll be
He's gonna,
awfully grumpy.
I don't think he's going to get any dialogue in on this either because we're doing just too good.
He's not. If you can't show up for the recording, I mean, you can't complain. If you get the invitation and you don't go to the party, you can't say, "Hey, why aren't I in the pictures?"
Yeah.
You can't say that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. So,
where'd you get the idea for this? For these
This was
worms?
my idea. We should talk about this. I'm looking for things because I needed things that were like, okay, this is another way someone could think that Christmas would make you happy, make you and cheer you up. And that Christmas food, we all love Christmas food. So what would go wrong with Christmas food? And what would go wrong is someone like Archibald saying, let's experiment with other people's Christmas food that you aren't going to like. And my mother actually did this to us at Easter once, and it drove us all insane.
So there's some truth behind this, a personal history.
Yeah, so we had the whole family gathered for an Easter dinner, and my mom decided to make a Japanese stew to be experimental for Easter dinner. And we all hated it. And we said, Mom, it's Easter. Why are we having Japanese stew? If we don't have ham next year, we're never coming back to your house. So that was the first and last time she ever served us Japanese stew for Easter.
Well, I'm glad we're able to pay respect to that.
Thanks, Mom.
Through this skit. Thank you.
I was thinking, see,
Mom
that's
Vischer.
not actually what a sheep's head looks like when they cook it to eat it in Norway.
Yeah, but we couldn't do that and have that happen after. There's our audience.
There's the audience.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the clapping, that kind of,
Yeah.
a bunch of clapping vegetables, that can be concerning.
With no hands and no
Do you think
arms.
anyone will notice? Maybe if we don't point it out, no one will notice.
Yeah, let's talk about
Madame
this.
Blueberry wasn't making contact with that cart that she was pushing.
Yeah.
She was pushing it like with magnetism or something.
Christmas tree?
There's the,
Oh, Larry's acting like Larry. This is so exciting.
Thanks, huh?
Larry.
He's himself.
He
And
is.
Bob is getting cranky. Oh, I love Bob when he's cranky.
Are we having this conversation?
I've been known to get cranky every now and then.
It has branches that hold up lights and
thoughts are running through my head with that.
baby coats.
That's a coat rack.
I got to say, the animation,
Looks good.
I think they nailed it.
Tough time.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Because when we did the mouths, we didn't have the technology to actually build the mouths into their bodies, so they were just cutouts. They
I
were
know.
just like paper cutouts. And these are actually built-in mouths into their geometry.
Right.
And it's It's very exciting.
Yeah, I can see a couple shots and frames here and there where the shapes could be a little cleaner now and then.
Yeah, well, if you couldn't, then that would really be something weird. 'Cause,
Yeah.
That's called production. I'm also not crazy about Pa Grape without a hat. He just,
You know what?
looks like,
He is
looks
going to
like
have
a
it.
grape.
He is going to have it. Yeah, can you imagine that?
Or are you putting the hat back in?
He will have it for subsequent episodes. So.
Okay, that's good. He just couldn't find it this day.
There,
This day.
Lunt's got his hat back on for you.
Yay, Lunt with his hat back on. Lunt with his hat
I kind of went back
on.
and forth with that, with him having the hat inside. I think you respect him a little bit more this way, and it's a little more respectful without wearing the hat indoors.
The cheeseburger song, I believe, and Mike, if he would show up for these, could correct me on this. I believe the cheeseburger song was the first time we ever showed Mr. Lunt without his hat. And so they gave him a little bit of hair, and they gave him little wrinkles on his skin where his eyes belonged. But that was the first time he'd ever been without his hat, and then he immediately went back to having his hat all the time. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. I actually
you
wasn't
weren't
paying
even listening.
attention. I was looking in front of us. Whoops! I just hit my microphone.
That's okay. They can fix that in post.
They can fix. We fix everything
That's
in post.
Junior Asparagus. Junior Asparagus is back, Todd. Isn't
Yeah.
that exciting?
Hey, who wrote the song for this, by the way?
He missed out on the Netflix drama. Junior was not there. He had a different voice for the whole thing. I believe I wrote this song.
I really like this number. And again, the
I like to
performance
write.
is really good.
I can write simple, short songs. I cannot write complicated, long songs. It is not in my DNA.
Right. Well,
So, when I write songs, this is what they look like.
Yeah. Well, what's key for me, I think that transpires over to the script too. I love a simple story, and with strong
Yeah, but all my
character
scripts
development.
are too long.
No,
all
they're
my
not.
scripts are too long. Every single one, you say it's probably 2 pages too long. It looks like it's about 2 pages too long.
This one was perfect.
That's because they wanted to turn it into a half an hour special, so
That's
it was
true.
needed to be longer.
This one is a half-hour special. Our other episodes are
This
22
one is
minutes.
special. Special. It's special. Oh, I like Jimmy and Jerry, and I like that Jerry. We got the right attitude with Jerry, where he's always echoing Jimmy with little lines.
Right.
Like a shadow. He's Jimmy's shadow.
Well,
It's the way it intended, way God meant it to be.
Yeah, I love these characters too and their costumes. Larry and Madame Blueberry and Lunt.
Yeah, and I'm glad Mr. Lunt's still in the show.
And we put a goatee on Larry just for you.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's just for me. Because
Yeah.
I have a goatee. Is that why?
You could.
Larry has a goatee because I have a... Is his goatee animated? Does it... Oh, it does? Oh, it's animated.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's just fantastic. Oh, and so is Lunt's goatee. It's animated. Because back in the day, we didn't have the technology. If we gave them facial hair, we had to be careful because the facial hair wouldn't move when their mouth moved because it was two separate pieces of animation. So their mouth could open up so wide that it would swallow up their facial hair. And that
Right.
just looked terrible. But this is just...
What do you think of the render with this with the new series? Just the
I think it looks fantastic.
yeah.
I
thank
was.
you.
Are they in some cases ray tracing their pupils?
Ray
Because
tracing.
I'm seeing reflections of things in their pupils occasionally, like when Junior's looking at the baby Jesus.
Yes.
Pee, the
Yes.
Jesus pee.
We're not there yet.
I know we're not there yet. I'm
Don't
just
confuse
saying.
the audience. Let's keep it simple.
Was it a spoiler that Jesus is in this
Yeah, no spoilers.
nativity story?
Baby Jesus. Yeah, what was
I'm sorry, we ruined it. How did you get Todd Waterman, showrunner extraordinaire? How did you get involved in this project? How did this happen? Because I didn't even know that you were born.
I was going to save the thank yous for the end, but it's I've got to say thanks to the TBN family, Matt and Lori Crouch, Tom Newman, who brought me to this project.
Okay. So it's the TBN guys that found you, and you were living under a bridge in L.A. with a sign that said "We'll animate for food."
Yeah, no, Phil.
Oh,
I can't believe
that's
you
just
just
what I
said
heard.
that.
That's just what I heard. I don't know if these things are
Let's
true.
just move on here. We got
Okay.
another song coming up, and all these songs
Another song just
that
went
play
by. Does
endlessly
it-
in my head at 2 a.m. in the morning.
That's one of my favorites because it was a total of, 8 seconds long?
Yeah.
I love to write 8-second songs.
All right,
Look, it's a whole flock of peas.
Do you want to comment about the peas?
Do you remember that band from the 1980s, Flock of Peas?
Yes, they're one of my favorites.
Yeah, they were great.
Great
that's
hair.
Jean-Claude
They had
and
great
Philippe.
hair.
I was kind of hoping that we'd have a whole gazillion actual peas behind them singing, but I've been told that budgetary constraints reduced our pea count.
That's right. They just became a flat.
Wait, Christmas?
That's okay. It's a theater.
And then you have
Theaters
to
are
make.
full-
And then where
full
do
of
they go
flats.
after that? They just kind of disappear. What would I do with all those peas extras?
Yeah, no, peas are a limitless resource. French peas are kind of infinite,
Yeah.
and you can have as many or as few of them as you need at any given time. They're like clowns in a clown car. So the French peas, they have a little box that just says French peas on the front, or maybe it's a can. Maybe they're canned peas.
Mm-hmm.
And after a show, they all just jump back in there. Whether it's 2 or 1,000, it doesn't even matter. They occupy no space. They're like quarks.
How many?
And you put them back in
can
the
you slow
can.
down? I'm taking notes here for the next episode.
So I'm just telling you, for the future, Todd,
Mm-hmm.
if you need infinite peas, you can have infinite peas. You don't have to explain where they come
There's
from.
no logic behind it.
They're French peas. They defy logic. Yeah, and if, people say, why French peas, and then they haven't listened to other commentaries, they were inspired by the Frenchmen in Monty Python's The Holy Grail that were up on the wall yelling down. And when I did, I like this song. This is fun.
That was my first R-rated film, I think. Was it R-rated?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think we can talk about that.
Not on this show.
'Cause I don't want to know how old you were, because that might not be appropriate.
We'll
I don't
cut
want to
that
know who
out.
took you, because that might not be appropriate either. I just don't want to know. I
love
don't
the-
want to know.
I love the film, and I love that we take some
funny.
of that flavor and make it family friendly and put it in these
And
episodes.
inject it into Christian children's videos,
That's
which is
it.
what the world was waiting for.
That's right.
So the peas are doing kind of a Cirque du Soleil routine. Did they have to rehearse that, or did it just come naturally to them?
We improvised this whole number.
Really?
Yeah.
You just said we're hanging you from wire. Just do whatever you want to do.
Correct.
Here's a trumpet.
So the shepherds
Yeah.
left their
See,
sheep in the
that
field.
line makes me laugh when Jerry just says enthusiasm,
By 9 o'clock.
and he doesn't say it all that enthusiastically.
Yeah. Bed at 8. They have to go to bed at 8, and the sheep complain.
To see this
Yeah, was that a complaint?
Yep.
That
We're
that
watching
bah.
this, by the way, with no audio, so
too. He
this is all
You're
from
watching with
memory.
no audio?
Yeah.
What good was
I have audio.
Well, you're lucky.
I have audio on my end because I'm in Chicago and Todd is in LA. Can you believe
That's
that?
right. I'm
And
here in
yet
Burbank.
It's like we're the home of the Johnny Carson show, live from Burbank. I remember that growing up.
You know what the best
Are you
part
where
about
Johnny
this
Carson was? Is that where you are right now in his old
A
studio?
little further away. Yes. A little
Are
further
there other
away.
places other than Johnny Carson's studio in Burbank?
Can we keep it about the VeggieTales show here?
Why is the curtain? The curtain's kind of seems a little bit drab. Why isn't the curtain?
I just didn't want a red curtain, and it is a little bit
came to a
You
little
just
darker
didn't want
than
a
what
red
we
curtain.
didn't want a red curtain, and it's a little bit darker actually than I wanted to.
Oh, no. Oh, hang on.
There's still
What do you
time to
have
change
against-
that
What do you have against red
for next
curtains?
episodes.
Blowing the sky.
I
do you
told you
have
I didn't want to do anything that.
Oh, because
was
the Muppet
close.
Show. It's
That's
too
right.
Muppet Show. I
Too
get
Muppety.
it. I get it. But what about my idea of turning Bob the Tomato into a frog? You didn't like that idea either?
Not. I mean, there's
just-
potential. There's room for that.
It's not that close to the Muppet Show. I don't know. I don't know. That's so cute. That scene
I think
with the
this-
stable.
Yeah.
So cute. And
Actually,
the backgrounds.
that's what he
Did-
just says.
Tremendous.
The backgrounds.
Who painted the backgrounds?
Guy Vasilovich, art director.
Guy Basilovich?
Yeah.
That's
gonna
a
be
great name.
He's going to be really happy I just brought his
He
name
could
to
be
this.
one of the characters in the show. Here comes Guy Basilovich.
Your
Come
voice-
on out, Guy.
The voice is actually kind of close to what he really sounds like, what you just did.
Wow, so he's
Minus
the
the
art director
Brooklyn
and he
accent.
did the flats? Did he do all the flats?
He
There's a
didn't
lot of
do-
flats.
Well, the artist did the flats. We have matte painters that do those things.
Oh, okay.
How do you like
But
getting
he-
to see the backstage occasionally while being
Yeah,
on
that's
stage?
kind of fun because it's like when you're watching a stand-up comedian on a Netflix special and they got a camera right on stage with them and they're shooting it from an angle and you can see backstage and you think, ooh, I feel like I'm on stage with them. I'm on stage with David Spade. This is so exciting.
That's right.
Or Jerry Seinfeld.
Everyone has a backstage pass.
Do you know what you should do, though, for one of the shows? When we're shooting kind of and seeing the backstage over their shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
should have two of the other characters back there get in a fist fight. Just backstage, like Jimmy and Jerry. Just get in a knockdown brawl.
I think
And
you wrote something like that in a later episode.
Did I?
Well, at least
Well, yeah, but it's not
Jerry's
like...
getting
it's-
devoured by some type of man-eating
right.
plant.
That's an exciting episode, but this would be just in the background, just far off in the background. You'd
Yeah.
hardly even notice it.
Leslie
And then
Farrell's
people would
not gonna
notice
like
and
me
they'd say,
saying that.
rewind, rewind that, rewind it. Did I just see what I thought I saw? That was amazing. Or you could have cameos like a celebrity walks through in the background, like Tom Cruise just walks through in the background. Could we do that?
Hey, this is a very intimate moment here, and you're making a lot of jokes.
You did. They're not listening to the commentary
Kurt
to feel
Heineke-
the weight of the intimate moments.
Kurt Heineke, that does our music for us, does a score.
Kurt Heineke, is he new or has he been around?
He's been around
while?
for a long time. He's part of the old
Really?
team. Anyway, he has an issue with that scene of Pa Grape hopping across. He said it looks like he's walking on the moon, and I have to say he was kind of hopping a little bit high.
Well,
These are things
sometimes
I
the
have to live
veggies-
with for the rest of my life that you just can't go back in and change. You know how that is, Phil.
Yeah, I think the veggies can control their own buoyancy. So, they don't have to weigh as much in some scenes as in other scenes, and they can bounce much further and higher. And, oh, there he looked okay. That was good bouncing, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that was perfect bounce.
His color scheme, is that like the red and the blue? Are those the colors of Iran?
Absolutely
That's reminding
not.
me of a flag.
Absolutely not.
Okay. I don't know where Simeon was from. Well, that's really close.
No,
Iran is
I
very
think
close
it's West Ham United's football soccer
Oh,
team's
yeah. That
colors.
makes sense. Oh, I like this song.
It does if you're watching this in England. So,
My wife really likes this song. She had to record it. It's funny, we recorded this song literally like 3 days ago. And now it's in the show. The show is done, and we're doing commentary on it.
I don't get to hear any of it. I haven't heard Junior sing this yet. I had to hear the version of you singing, which I love to
that's
dance
terrible.
to, by the way.
The version of me, because I do a rough of all these songs so I can send it to Kurt. I was joking when I said I didn't know who Kurt was. He was the music director at my church in 1989 when I started thinking about VeggieTales, and I asked him if he could do some songs, and that was 1990 or 91, and he's been doing veggie music ever since. So he is the king of vegetable music. Like in the world, for all of history, no one has written more vegetable-related songs than Kurt Heineke. The sheep are dancing, but they're not singing. What is it? They can dance? Sheep can dance,
We got
but they
him.
can't sing.
We got him cheap.
These sheep are great dancers, but unfortunately they're mute.
Yeah.
So you can have a choice. You can pay this much and get singing sheep that can't dance, or this much and get dancing sheep that can't sing.
Yeah.
I think you made the right choice.
These are all
Todd.
repurposed models, by the way. These all existed on the veggie library.
Really? They were in the back lot?
Yeah, that's right.
They were in the back. But
Yeah, we just missed the big musical number just ended.
I know, it was good. It was very exciting. I liked it.
Great. Well, you wrote the
Thank
song.
you. Do you know how many parts I sing in that song? Do you know how many, Todd?
Please tell
Do you know
me
how many parts I sing in that song?
Oh, 7 or 8?
10. It's my record.
10.
There's 10 of me singing that
We're
song.
not counting
'cause
the
I'm-
sheep, Phil.
No, not the sheep do not sing, as we previously established. I am Jimmy. I don't know who else. Archie, Pa Grape, and Lunt. Say those 4 name characters. But then there's a P choir, and I'm 6 P's in the P choir, which is pretty much the whole P choir.
I don't know if you can count that.
What do you mean I can't count that?
I don't think
I
you
sang
can.
6 different P's.
I like this
Like-
part.
Like 4 different parts. I don't know. See, was that Jimmy and Jerry, or were those extra French P's?
That was Jimmy and Jean-Claude and Philippe.
I'm sorry, Jean-Claude and Philippe.
Yes.
What am I saying?
Let's keep it straight.
Goliath.
Goliath.
I love that Goliath's
And
back
you
in the
voiced
show.
Goliath as well.
Yes, I do voice Goliath, Todd Waterman, the showrunner.
I thought
This
I
was a
voiced-
last-minute addition, this little musical number, at the
Yeah.
9th hour because we were short on time to make the
very
30
nice.
minutes.
I'm thinking, though, okay, those trees in the background, I'm thinking those were painted by someone who doesn't actually live around snow, because the snow would only build up on top of those trees like that if there were leaves there to catch it. And in winter, there aren't leaves on the trees to catch the snow like that.
You know,
the
look,
leaves, they
it's
fall
branches.
off.
They're just.
No, the snow would be all over the branches, not just on the ends of the branches.
Okay, I'm
It's
gonna have to tell
lovely.
Guy
It's-
Vasilovich,
It's, Guy Vasilovich. I don't know. Where did he grow up? In Burbank, I'm
Wisconsin,
thinking?
actually.
No, he did not grow
Yeah,
up in
that's a fact.
Wisconsin.
Let's keep-
Absolutely not.
Let's keep
Not
it to the show. The
possible.
fans want to know about the show here.
This is it. This is the stuff the fans want to know. Why does Guy only paint snow on the ends of the branches, not in the middle of the branches?
This is really cute.
This is very sweet. I think Goliath should be just a little bit bigger. I don't know. How did we decide how big he should be in this?
This is the size he's always been. So we just we didn't scale him.
What do you mean?
We didn't
Says,
rescale him.
according to who?
According to the files that existed from past episodes.
Really?
Yeah.
This scene is a little odd where they just kind of do that.
Yeah, well, you know,
it's a nice
I
musical
watched
interlude.
a lot of Lawrence Welk episodes, and that was the inspiration. I kid you not.
They've
And just
really
trying
got-
to get the studio to get these guys to move to the beat was
It's
quite
kind
a
of
challenge.
amazing that Bob the Tomato can lean when he only has a head. You're not really leaning, you're rolling.
That's
Madam Blueberry and Mr. Lunt, they're just heads.
Yeah,
And
that's-
yet they can lean. Where did all the confetti come out of? Confetti flew out of Goliath. Is that like in his ears? Here comes the confetti
You know
out
what,
of
though?
my
There-
ears.
I did notice directing the animators that you still need to keep a shape to the characters so that it feels like the characters, even though they can
Yes.
contort quite a bit. Because with the way the controls are, you push them a little too much, they no longer feel like they're on model.
They turn into just puddles of goo.
Right.
or
I
Play-Doh
love.
that somebody stepped on.
Yeah, I like Bob's
Oh, it's so
nose.
nice to have Junior back.
I didn't.
Junior. Not just because I'm married to the voice actress behind Junior, but I really like Junior.
He's great, and he's got a healthy role in all the episodes moving forward.
He does have a healthy role. We all have healthy roles.
Mm-hmm.
Do we?
We do.
Your role's pretty healthy. How much did that hat weigh that Larry had to wear? That's huge. It's like the top of the world's biggest cupcake.
I'm trying to think of a comeback, and I don't have one. I'm just
That's
can't
not
stop
your
staring
job.
at it.
That's not your job. Oh, look, it's Jean-Claude,
I
the
love
verse
this.
angel.
I love this part of the show that we get to do in every episode with him.
Do you think
coming
anyone
down.
will say, "Hey, where's QWERTY? Hey, they already did online," and I had to say it's in a theater. He was on the kitchen countertop. You leave
Yeah.
the kitchen countertop, you don't drag QWERTY all the way down to the theater. This is a different world.
Well,
so
did we get a little QWERTY kind of homage as far as the melody that Kurt
Oh
just
yeah,
put
yeah,
in?
yeah. Kurt put. I noticed that Kurt put a little what we have learned into the score.
That's
which is
right.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So if anyone complains, if anyone says, "Oh, I want QWERTY," it was my idea. My idea. I brought QWERTY into this world. I can take him out if I want to.
Yes, you can.
And it's nice to freshen it up with something that also fits the feel, but is theater related, which a 1980s IBM PC Junior is not theater related. So
Man, I'm
I
so-
stand by my decision.
I'm getting sad now. We're almost over.
Oh no!
Yeah. How do
He
you like the
looks like
swimsuit?
he looks like he's going bathing in 1890.
It's actually 1920.
He looks like he's going bathing in 1920, except for
Yeah.
the leather belt. I don't know how leather belts hold up.
He's got to wear a harness, otherwise he's just going to fall.
It must be tight to keep him from popping right out of it, because doesn't go under him or anything. It's just a belt.
Yay.
That's pretty cool that Goliath can bow without losing anything, without losing any ornaments.
That's
Oh,
Yeah,
what's
it's
going to
the-
happen? What's he going to do? What's he going to do? What's going to happen?
Do you miss the
Oh! Action scene.
I have
It's
no
fun to
sound
end
right
with an
now.
action scene.
Do you miss his gold tooth?
No, I don't.
Good, I
No,
don't
because
either.
now we have implants. We
That's
don't
right.
need to have gold teeth anymore. We
Right.
have implants.
That'll
Back in the day, because people are sensitive. Are you, is he supposed to be? What is his ethnicity? And it's like, I don't even know. When I started, he was the Weasels from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's what he was supposed to be, and he's a gangster sidekick, and he's just fun. And he had a gold tooth because the Weasels, one of the Weasels had a gold tooth, and I thought that was fun. So he doesn't have a gold tooth anymore, and that's fine because he got health insurance and it had dental.
I learn something new every day with you. Hey, we're done. Picture's
Is that
over.
it?
That's
Is that
it.
the end?
Yes.
What a great show. Good job, Todd.
Excellent work, Phil.
Let's make more.
Absolutely. I can't wait till the next one.
See you next time.
Have a good day.